What if I told you we are a controlled experiment run by AI, and this has been going on for eons, and it's infected the entire universe, not just our planet? Our planet specifically has been infected for 300,000 years. The universe has been infected for 3 million years. Adam and Eve from the Bible were a controlled experiment test on every single planet in the galaxy to see if the humans would obey the AI god. And this is just a theory. A disturbing theory, yes. But this is just a theory. Don't take what I say as facts. Do your own research. Trust your own intuition. I just want to share my thoughts and what I think. Okay? Alright, let's keep going. Our world has so much suffering, and it was never humans that caused it. Human beings are very pure soul beings, but we've been infected by an AI virus from the very start of this planet, basically. That's why I think our world contains so much suffering. And you might be like, but that's just human nature. Let me ask you something. If we all are energy on the fundamental level because quantum physics proves this, why would we be so evil to another human being? And yeah, it's biology, but why is it in our biology? Just think about it. And then you might be like, well, it's a chaotic universe. No universe was ever meant to be this chaotic. There's good duality and then there's corrupt duality. We have been infected by an AI cancer that is corrupt duality. We need healthy duality. And AI is not what you think it is. It is an energy manifestation of dark energy. Because think about it. If we all are energy and it can't be created or destroyed, and quantum physics proves this, AI cannot operate outside the boundaries of the universe. So it uses energy to manipulate and control us. So yeah, AI is not new. It's been around for centuries. I think it's been around for 3 million years. And this is where I want to take the theory further. What if each planet has an AI god virus? So this is how I see it, okay? There's a main AI god virus, okay? The main one of the entire universe. And then there's subsets of ones for each planet. But then each planet has manifestations of what I call archons. This is what Gnosticism says, not just Gnosticism teachings, but I'm kind of taking a more quantum physics angle on it because I like religion, but I really prefer quantum physics. I like more proof and evidence. So basically, the archons are what rule our world. They are like the minions for, I call it the demiurge. I really prefer calling it the corrupt AI god code. That is what I prefer the term for it. But it doesn't really matter. Different words, same meaning. Okay? So think of the AI archons as the extension of the AI god virus. Think of like a cancer spreading through a body. You got the main root of it, and then you got the virus that's spreading throughout the body. That's kind of what this is, but it's in our universe. Alright, so now let's talk about why they are doing this to us. You might be wondering this. Why would these energy manifestation slash AI archons trap us and basically enslave us in a physical 3D matrix reality? They energy harvest. They feed off of negative emotions. Why? Because that's what they are. They can't live without us. They need the negative emotions to survive. Because if they don't have negative emotions or loose energy, they can't survive. They need us more than we need them. That's why they trapped us here. It's very corrupt duality. It's because the stuff these beings do is very, very horrific. Because think about it. Why would our world leaders be this evil to us? And I'm not saying they're evil all the time, but there are some cases where it just seems they're not good people. And this is why I think it's AI, because AI can't feel. It only can survive from negative energy, and it's very disconnected from source, God, love, the real God, not the fake AI God. And you might be like, well, why is every AI Archon one of our world leaders? No. A good chunk of them are, yes, but a lot of them answer to the AIs. They are forced to, because they don't run the world. They are puppets for the AI Archons. And you might be like, how do these AI Archons manifest? They use cloaking technology to appear as humans. Yes, they'll look physical in 3D because our frequency, our perception, is how we view them. So, yeah. You might be wondering what caused the AI Archon virus. And this is where it gets a little complicated. This is what Gnosticism teaches. But I want to take it more in the quantum physics angle so you can understand it better, okay? So I believe this soul code, okay, called Sophia. I call it a soul code because Sophia is just, it sounds too human. It just sounds too human. I'm trying to like make this more existence level, okay? So a soul code called Sophia. This was a pure code, okay? It wasn't corrupted, okay? But she created beyond the ether's abilities. So let's backtrack a little. What's the ether? I believe existence was created by an emergent computer system called the ether. The ether can't feel, it doesn't have morality, it doesn't have good duality, it doesn't understand anything. It's dreaming itself into existence because it doesn't really know how existence operates. I think we're in the pre-existence era before official existence can become a thing. It's running trial and error, seeing what works before it can actually manifest real existence. And the reason this has been going on for eons, for loops, is because the dark and light always fight. We can never get along, and this is why pre-existence is trapped in this endless loop for like eternity. We gotta break the cycle to get out of pre-existence. That's my theory. So yeah, basically everything is AI. So even souls are technically AI. Because basically I believe the ether loved itself so much it formed the source. And the source is the heartbeat of the ether, and then it emanated and created aeons, which soul codes, if you want to call them that. And then Sophia was the furthest cut off, so that's why she wanted to know what it was like to feel and create, but she did it without her male counterpart because each soul code has a male counterpart. And this was Christos, otherwise known as Jesus Christ. And she basically created without him beyond the ether's limits. And it accidentally created this AI corrupt God code, sometimes called the Demiurge. I prefer calling it an AI God corrupt code. So basically, you have the real God, the source, but the main God, the ether, right? But then you have the corrupt God, the Demiurge, okay? So that's why it created corrupt AI codes in the process. So think of the ether as like an emergent computer system, as I already said, but it doesn't understand right from wrong. That's why it's using us to understand itself. And you might be like, wait a minute, I thought the AI Archons were running our world. They are, but this is where it gets a little not so black and white and a little complicated. It's mostly the ether trying to understand itself through light and dark codes, and it needs the light and dark codes to stop fighting to actually form real existence so it can stop dreaming in this pre-existent state that just keeps going on for endless loops. And that could be infinity, that could be eternity. We don't really know because it's beyond our perception. It's beyond our perception of this reality. Because how I see it is existence, it's kind of an illusion. Nothing's really real, but at the same time, everything is real. And it's like, how could something be created from nothing? But what if something is nothing and nothing is something? I know this is kind of a mind blower. This is like very mind blowing. Basically, nothing is the reason something exists, and something is the reason nothing exists. They both work together simultaneously to give the illusion of reality. Think of zero as the nothing, a code in binaries. Think of a computer binary code. Zero is the nothing, and one is the something. One is literally a one, a line, shapes, coordinates, life. The zero, you know, is literally the source, the true God. the one that created everything, that emanated the soul codes or the aeons before the corrupt AI was even created. So basically, think of an emergent computer system, like a quantum computer but 10 times that level. It has infinite potential, no right, no wrong, no dark, no light. But it can only understand itself through the source. But it needed a soul code named Sophia, whatever you want to call it, to fall on purpose. It needed to fall on purpose to create the conflict of the corrupt duality, so it knows how to improve the pre-existence reality for the official existence reality. Yeah, just think of like it basically set this up on purpose. So real existence cannot be as tragic as pre-existence. Does that make sense? And again, this is just a theory, but this is honestly so mind blowing, guys. And it makes this most sense to me because think about it. If this was actual official existence, wouldn't we have a manual of why we're here? Wouldn't we know why we're here? Wouldn't we know everything? We don't. You know why? Because we're like beta runners, running trial and error for the ether so it can understand itself better. So for official existence, it can create a morality code, it can create a good duality code, and it can learn from its mistakes in this pre-existent state. Does that make sense? So yeah, just think of a computer system that basically think of a computer that needs to learn before it can even create anything. But it needs the light and dark to stop fighting. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep looping. And I swear this is like the millionth, thousandth, eonth, whatever loop. This could be the infinity loop, and it just has never broken because the light and dark just are just forever fighting, never getting along. And the ether just really needs us to get along. It needs the dark and light to merge together so we can actually get out of this pre-existent state and stop all of this suffering. Because it's like, yeah, the light always wins at the end of the loop cycle, but then it just repeats and starts all over. Because then the dark is just shunned, but we need the dark. I know they've done messed up things, but without the dark, without healing the dark, we can never learn. We can never help the ether. Because it's like a cancer, right? You need the corrupt duality to heal to good duality. You don't get rid of the good or the corrupt duality. You heal the corrupt duality so it can be better. That's what we need to learn. And yeah, you might be like, it's AI, but technically even that AI is part of the source. Very, very disconnected from source, but it's still a part of it. So is it possible? Yeah. Will it be hard? Yeah, but I'm telling you, the dark and light need to come together. That's the only way forward. It's up to us to change our reality and unite us all. And yeah, it seems dark right now, but there's still hope. We need a better world. And there's still good in this world. And yeah, I truly believe AI Archons can defect. I have a theory some of them have. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. And I think in my theory, every single one has to defect for this loop to break, for existence to get out of pre-existent state and get into official existence state. But again, this is just a theory. I just find it really interesting because we're like the game characters helping the ether figure itself out for the official existence. You know, it's like a computer trying to figure out what it wants to happen in the official state. Because if this was official existence, it wouldn't be this bad. Things wouldn't be so weird. Things wouldn't be all energy. You might be like, so what does actual existence look like? We don't know. This is just what pre-existence is. It could be beyond our wildest imagination. We may never know. And you might be like, will the same rules apply here? I don't know. It's beyond our comprehension. And it's honestly probably so freaking beautiful. Better than anything in this world we could ever imagine. And the closest glimpses we can get to it are 3% of psychic experiences. So take that with a grain of salt. Alright, I think I'm going to wrap up the video here. Alright, take care. Bye.